out of the game.
Hi, I'm Kelsa Dickey, the CEO of the Financial Coach Academy and my financial coaching business, Fiscal Fitness Phoenix. My coaching journey began more than a decade ago with me helping people for free from my dining room table. What was once a little business of mine has grown into a 7-figure company that employs a team of people. My goal is simple, to help you fall more and more in love with financial coaching. I believe financial coaching is the most rewarding way to make a living. If you are an aspiring financial coach or have been coaching for years, I'm here to help you create a business you love that gets your clients massive results. Let's get to it. Hey, financial coach. I am so excited for this episode 28 of the podcast. Why aren't you getting more clients? Before we dive into that, just a few things. The first is a review for the podcast from Chris55 ? 77. Just getting started as a financial coach, and Kelsa's podcast and YouTube videos have been exactly what I was looking for. I downloaded her book, The Financial Coaching Playbook, from the website. It's like a step-by-step user's manual on how to start as a financial coach. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate you being a listener. I hope you love the Financial Coaching Playbook, and thank you for leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. I really appreciate it. Just a reminder, you guys, I will be gone in the month of July. Jill, my lead financial coach, is bringing you some amazing podcast episode. I know you are going to love them. And before we dive into today's episode, I want to talk with you about the results from the Client Creator Challenge. We just finished. We are 1 week away from finishing this year's Client Creator Challenge. I know this episode is going to be dropping in about a month, but we just finished. I hope the results that I'm about to share with you get you super excited. I hope they fire you up. I hope they inspire you to realize that people are hiring financial coaches on a regular basis right now. It is happening. It can happen for you too. Check out these numbers. First of all, if you don't know what the Client Creator Challenge is, it is a 90-day challenge that we do every January with the focus on helping financial coaches specifically gain more clients. We focus on 5 specific areas of your client attraction process and help you define and refine each one until it is humming along beautifully. We focus on sales, marketing, client results, and the coach's mindset for 90 days, and we watch as the clients start coming in. We run the challenge every January, and if you want to be notified when registration opens for next year's challenge, you can get on the wait list by going to financialcoachacademy.com, clicking on events, and then choosing Client Creator Challenge. Let's get into these amazing results. I cannot wait to share them with you. All right, here we are. We had 36 coaches participate and complete the challenge. The total new client revenue for those 36 coaches, so this is new client revenue. This is not clients who they had for a while who just kept paying. New clients that they got during the challenge. $327,813.11. $327,000, coaches, okay, for 36 coaches. The first 8 weeks, the weekly average of revenue was $23,000, okay? Weekly revenue of $23,000 for the first 8 weeks of the challenge. For the final 4 weeks of the challenge, the weekly average was $30,000 per week. Now, why do we look at that number? It's super important because it shows that momentum takes time to gain, right? It shows that consistency over time pays off. Many coaches quit way too soon. And so this is something that during the challenge, we are coaching on really early and often. We're letting them know that for those first 8 weeks, it might feel like you're not getting a lot of traction. You're planting a lot of seeds. You're refining this. You're refining that. You're modifying a lot of things. It is going to pay off, right? And we are able to track that every single challenge that we do, that it happens over and over and over again. Out of those 36 coaches who finished the challenge, 85% of them, 30 of them made their money back in the challenge. At the start of the challenge, each coach sets their own goals. They set a good, better, and best revenue goal. The reason they do this is because they are only in competition with themselves. They are there to support and encourage one another. They are only competing with themselves. we can't have where everybody we want to have the same revenue because it really depends on pricing. And some clients are doing it part-time, some are doing it full-time, some have high-end, high-ticket programs, others are selling courses that are a much smaller dollar amount, right? So the idea is that the coach determines their good, better, and best goal for the 90 days. Out of those goals, 23 good goals were achieved, 15 better goals were achieved, 8 coaches achieved their best goal. So let me just give you just a quick insight on why this is so freaking cool, okay? Your good goal should be like sort of what you expect to achieve. You're like, I would be really bummed if I didn't do this, right? Like if I didn't at least hit this number, I'd be pretty frustrated or bummed about that, right? That's your good goal. Better goal is like, I'm going to be, doing some things. I'm going to be trying some new things. I'm going to step outside my comfort zone. And if just some of those things pay off, that would be great. And I would like to see this number as a result, or I would love to like kind of stretch it a little bit. And this would be my better goal, right? Now, the best goal should be like the pie in the sky goal. This is the number that you're like, this feels absolutely insane to even write it down. You're like, I have no idea how I would do this. This seems crazy. There's no way I would do this. Like the universe would it'd have to be a miracle, right? Well, we had 8 coaches hit their best goal. Okay. The pie in the sky, I have no idea how I'd ever hit it. I feel crazy writing it down goal. Yeah. 8 of them hit it. Okay. Now, not only that, those are typically the goals that we have: good, better, and best. Out of those 8 coaches who hit their best goal, they were crushing it so much. Our goal, our motto for the challenge is to collectively crush it. We're all in this together. We're all giving each other feedback. We're all lifting each other up. So we are collectively crushing it. Well, these 8 coaches, legit crushed it. Okay. So at some point they had already achieved their best goal. They're still going. And we were like, we need a whole new goal level, right? Like we can't just keep going after that. Like we need a whole new level. We established the hot damn goal level above the best goal. So if they had achieved their best goal, we said, hey, set a new one for yourself. Go and set another goal for yourself. You've got 2 weeks left of this challenge. Let's see what you can do, right? Out of those 8, 6 of them hit their hot damn goal too. So 6 coaches we had to establish a whole new goal for, and they still achieved it. It blows my mind. Okay. I just want you to imagine if you were the coach who did that, how you would feel about yourself, right? I mean, they were giggling, we were squealing. It's so fun, right? It's so freaking cool. Okay. Here's other benefits from the Client Creator Challenge. We have coaches with waitlists now, coaches who designed, launched, and sold clients into brand new offers and new programs, much bolder messaging. And when we talk about bold messaging in the challenge, bold does not mean more direct or sort of in your face. That's not what bold means. Bold means more you, right? So we teach coaches how to embrace more of themselves in their marketing and sort of own that, okay? Coaches were open to new opportunities, and we had coaches who got speaking gigs and workshops, and there's so many cool things. We had coaches increase their prices and sell clients into their increased prices during the 90-day challenge. One of the other things that we do before the challenge starts is coaches score themselves on 4 different things. They score themselves on their effort, specifically around client attraction. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the effort you would say you've been putting into your client attraction efforts? How would you score yourself in consistency in client attraction efforts? How would you score your confidence when it comes to attracting clients and gaining new clients before the challenge starts? And how would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10 the joy that you feel when it comes to doing your marketing and selling and serving your clients? So essentially, how much joy do you have in your business right now? Okay. Then at the end of the challenge, we ask them to rescore those numbers. This is so cool. Okay. Before the challenge started, the average score for effort out of 10 was 3.2. 3.2 out of 10. After the challenge, coaches scored their effort at 8.1. I mean, huge leap. Consistency at the start of the challenge, 2.7 on average. Final consistency after the challenge ended was 7.5. Confidence. How confident did a coach feel when it came to attracting and getting clients before the challenge started? On average was a 4.2 out of 10. I'm curious where you would score yourself, coach. I'm just curious. After the challenge, how confident did these coaches feel in all of those activities? 8.2. From a 4.2 to an 8.2. That is amazing. I love that so much. We talk all the time when we're talking about the challenge that, yes, making more money, gaining new clients, that's really important. That is absolutely one of the tangible outcomes we hope to see from the Client Creator Challenge. And it is not even the most important thing. The most important thing is who you become in the process. And these numbers demonstrate that for me, which is what makes me really proud. And when it comes to joy, I believe that the more joy we have about the work we're doing, the more we're going to do it, the more consistent we'll be. It just so many benefits come from having fun doing what we're doing, right? And truly enjoying it. The joy before the challenge started, coaches gave themselves on average 4.6. And after the challenge, the joy they felt in their business was an 8.6. So from 4.6 to 8.6, I am really so proud of that. And last but not least, and then we'll dive into helping you up-level your client attraction efforts as well. 100% of participants said they would recommend the Client Creator Challenge to other coaches. 100%. That makes me so incredibly proud. It was so much fun, you guys. I am so proud of these coaches. I hope you will congratulate them. Please comment on this video, whether it's in Facebook or on YouTube, and let them know that you are really proud of how they showed up. They did new things. They stepped outside their comfort zone. We had coaches going door to door to businesses, dropping off flyers and that kind of thing. It was so damn impressive. They deserve so much of your love and affection. So please shower them with some of that in the comments of this video. I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's dive into you now. Do you want more clients? Do you wonder why you're not getting more clients? Well, let's explore how you can discover the answer to this so that you can pinpoint exactly where the gap is in your process. I wish I could tell you that every single person listening to this right now needs to do X. I wish I could tell you one thing. What I'm going to tell you is the one thing you can do to find where your gap is. And you have to complete this step. Please complete this step because otherwise you're not going to know where is the gap in the process that you need to be filling. So then you don't know what the solution is and then you don't know how to take action on it, right? We have to first figure out where's the problem at so that we know where to solve it. So you are going to start by tracking your leads, prospects, and clients every single week. Now, take a deep breath. I'm asking you to track something. This doesn't have to be fancy. No one has to see it. It can be on a sheet of paper. It can be on a dry erase board. It can be on an Excel spreadsheet, right? Have the following rows where you've got leads, prospects, and clients. And then week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way across the top, right? Here's what a lead is. A lead is somebody who expresses interest in your free giveaway. Maybe they want to hear more about your services. This is a person who slides into your DMs on social media. This is a person who signs up for your newsletter or your freebie at a presentation that you give or a freebie on your website kind of thing. This is a person who maybe schedules a get to know you call with you if you offer one of those. As a lead, however, they probably have not yet been qualified as a potential client. So in other words, you probably don't know much about them yet, or you know very little, they might have said something in their DMs, but it's not enough to know if they're really qualified to be a client of yours or not, okay? That is a lead. What is a prospect? A prospect is someone who was once a lead, but they've now been qualified as a potential client for your business. Once you qualify a lead, they become a prospect. It's likely you've invited them to take the next step with you in your process. For most financial coaches, if you've done the Financial Coach Academy, your business model is probably very similar to mine, which means you offer a free sort of clarity call, like a 20-minute, we call it a Q&A call, but you can call it anything you want. But that free sort of consult, but it's like a 20-minute consult. A lead will schedule that call. That's a lead. Once you talk to the person on the call and you ask them what they're experiencing, you ask them what they're hoping to gain, and you say, yes, this is something I can help you with. Here's how you move forward. Once you have extended that, you've qualified them, they are now a prospect. Okay. This is when you probably tell them about your discovery session and you invite them to book that session with you. You invite them to work with you. Okay. Now they become a prospect. Whether they actually schedule a call with, the session with you or your discovery session, or they actually book, does not matter. Once you offer that to them or you qualify them as somebody who could get that offer, they are a prospect. Okay. Now, I just want to clarify something before I move on to the next step. An individual could be both a lead and a prospect in the exact same week as you are tracking things. Okay, here's what that might look like. Somebody reaches out to you online, they slide into your DMs. You get 1 point for a lead, right? Then you are messaging with them and you say, I can talk tomorrow at 9 a.m. or Wednesday at 4 p.m. Which one of those works better for you? And you book a call with them. Then you get on the call with them and you qualify them as somebody who you would like to work with, and you sort of invite them to take that step with you. Now you also get 1 point for your prospect column in that week. Okay, so that person would get 1 for lead and 1 for prospect in that week, even though it's the same person. Okay, so what is a client? Once a prospect schedules a paid offering and you collect payment, they become a client. This might look like someone booking your discovery session. If you are new in business and still offering your discovery sessions for free, which is sometimes what happens when we're first starting out, we'll do a few of them for free just to gain some experience, right? You would still count that as a client because they're not paying you financially, but they are paying you with feedback or a testimonial or something like that. So you would still count it if they end up scheduling that with you, okay? That would be a client. So once somebody books and pays with you, they are now a client. Just to clarify, an individual could be a lead, a prospect, and a client all in the same week when you are tracking this. This would look like someone who does the following. They reach out to you online on a Monday. That is 1 point for lead. You tell them you've got some availability the next day at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, which one works better for you. They pick the 4 o'clock on Tuesday. You hop on the call with them. You qualify them as a great potential client. You let them know that. You tell them that here's what the next step is. Once you do that, they become a prospect, just like we talked about. If on that call, which happens for us, a lot of our people will book their discovery session right while we're on the phone with them, right? We schedule it and take payment right then. Once that happens, that person is also a client, all in the same week. One person, but you get a point for lead, prospect, and client. I hope this makes sense. Now, I want you to do this for 6 weeks. 6 weeks, okay? Now, you're not going to stop after 6 weeks. You're going to keep going. I want you to keep tracking these numbers. But at 6 weeks, you're going to review them. And here's what I want you to pay attention to. This is going to help you determine where in the gap of your client attraction efforts you need to fill, okay? If you don't have enough leads coming in, you have a messaging problem. Your content isn't getting it in front of enough people. You're not having enough conversations with referral partners, or you're doing plenty of those things, but your messaging is not resonating. It's either too blah, or it's too overwhelming, it's too complex, it's not specific enough, any number of things, right? You may need to do more of what you're doing, which would be if you have a quantity problem. Or you want to keep doing what you're doing, but simply become more bold with what you are sharing and how you are doing and holding one-to-ones. This would be a quality problem. So you want to refine your messaging. Go back to the Trust Triad episode that we talked about a few episodes ago and boost your level of trust building in your messaging. So that was episode 25, and make those changes to your marketing. I'm also going to do an episode soon on your referral partner strategy and how to leverage that. So stay tuned for that. But you may also need to be boosting what you talk about in those one-to-ones. A typical scenario that happens for newer coaches is they will do one-to-one. So they're going to meet with a financial advisor or a bookkeeper or something like that. And they're going to meet with them, but they aren't actually being bold in that conversation. And again, I don't mean bold like in your face or anything like that. That's not what bold means. But are you letting that person tell you all about their business, but you only talk about your business for like 1 minute at the very end because you feel like you should, right? Or are you being bold and sort of taking a moment of that conversation to say, that all makes a lot of sense. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'd like to take an opportunity to tell you about what I do now. right? So, or something like that. The idea is that you might need to refine that part of your process. Okay. If you are not getting enough leads in, you have a marketing problem, a visibility problem, a messaging problem. You need to have more conversations, be getting in front of more people. You need more people just eyes on you and eyes on your stuff. Okay. If you have leads coming in, so you're looking at your numbers for 6 weeks, and every week your number of leads is pretty solid. And again, solid for you depending on how many clients you're looking for. But you notice that from your leads to the number of prospects, it drops off. So you've got a healthy number of leads, but then all of a sudden it's like prospects, it's falling off, right? So you connect with them, but they're not qualified. If that is the case, you also have a messaging problem. You also have a marketing problem. What that means is you're getting eyes on your content, but then your content's not resonating with your ideal client. It's not actually landing, so it's not converting them, right? So you want to ask yourself, what does your ideal client care most about? What are they most curious about? What do they feel challenged by? What are their ultimate desires? And you want to make sure you're adding those to your messaging so that you're actually attracting more qualified people right on the front end. Okay. So it's like your leads aren't actually great leads. Okay. It's not a quantity issue necessarily. It's a quality issue. And you want to lean into your niche more if this is happening. Okay. If you have leads coming in and they're qualified, so if you look at your tracker and you see a whole bunch of leads and you've got a solid number of prospects, you will typically see a dip from one to the other. So I don't want you to think you won't, but you don't want to see it go from like 10 leads a week to 0 prospects, right? Or even 2. It should be just like a small dip. But they're not becoming clients. So you've got good leads. They're qualified people, they're prospects, but they're not becoming clients. They're not actually booking a session with you. You have a sales problem. This is not a marketing issue. You're attracting people and they're qualified people. You simply are not converting your qualified prospects into paying clients. So you want to focus on improving your sales skills, but keep going with what you're doing in your marketing. What I don't want you to do is like, okay, well, I got to focus on sales. So I like stop posting and I stop having conversations and I stop doing all this other stuff. Keep all of that going. We still need more of those leads and prospects coming in, but I also want you to refine your sales process. Where is someone when they first come to you? Where do they want to be? And how does your coaching or working with you bridge that gap, right? That's called bridging the gap. That is what your offer is. I take you from this to this. Here's the offer. Here's the invitation to make that happen for yourself, right? You help them go from where they are to where they want to be. That is your sales process. I fully believe you cannot get good at coaching without actually coaching, okay? One of my biggest frustrations is coaching programs that teach you how to coach, but don't teach you how to get good at sales and marketing. So then you've got this skill of coaching, but then you have no way of getting clients to actually coach. So then you have no way of practicing your skill, practicing your craft, and getting better at it. And this kills me, is one of the things I am most proud of with the Academy course, because we don't just teach you how to be an amazing coach and we don't just help you design your program and all of that. We actually teach you how to market and sell your offerings at the exact same time. Because ultimately, I don't want you to just be a coach. I actually want you to do coaching. Okay. It's kind of the point, I think, right? Like I actually want you getting people results and changing their life. Like that is such a cool thing. So the first thing you have to do is track your numbers for 6 weeks and then look at them and be honest with yourself. Identify where the gap is in your process and focus on up-leveling it. Now, chances are if you have a shortage of leads, all the other numbers are probably zeros or goose eggs anyway, okay? So chances are if you're kind of like, yeah, I'm not really doing much, focus on your marketing, focus on your messaging. Go back to that episode of the Trust Triad, episode, I just had it in here someplace. Let's see, 25, I think. So really focus on, yes, episode 25 was the Trust Triad. So go back and revisit that and start to make those changes in your marketing and focus on visibility and getting leads in first. Once you do that, then you can focus on your prospects, okay? What I don't want you to do is don't settle for not knowing. Coach, you are making it way harder on yourself to not know. Tracking these numbers is where we see the biggest shift in the coaches in the challenge. None of them want to do it initially. None of them. It's like, oh, I got to do what? You want me to update what every single week? We actually put deadlines on it. So the week ends on a Sunday. You have until the following Sunday to get your numbers updated. And then that week is locked and you can't update it. So you better get it done. This is a crucial part of the process, because when we are giving them feedback and we're saying, here's what we need you to do, here's the part we want you to focus on, instead of being really overwhelmed and being spread thin and trying to work on all these different things, we want to be able to target their efforts. And each coach is going to struggle with a different part of this process, right? So we want to get really clear on where that gap is so that we can change it. At the end, when at the end of the challenge, when we ask the coaches which habits they are going to continue now that the challenge is over, they all say they're going to continue tracking. They all say they're going to continue tracking. It is one of those things that gives them such valuable insight. And so when something all of a sudden goes wrong, we can look at it and say, this is the part that we need to fix. This is the part that needs my attention right now, right? You are smart, you are capable, you are an entrepreneur, and I know doing things that we may not enjoy is not always fun. But I promise you, I am willing to bet that tracking is more fun than not getting clients and being frustrated by that and feeling overwhelmed by that, and the internal mind drama and dialogue and inner critic that can take over when we aren't getting clients, but we want to be helping people, okay? Updating something every single week, think about it like you encouraging your clients to budget, right? Like they may not want to do it every week, but you know if they do, they'll get good at it. It's going to give them more awareness than the time it takes to actually do the thing, right? And the same is true for you tracking your leads, prospects, and clients for 6 weeks, then review it, but keep it going, okay? What you want to be able to see too, and this is so important, is you're going to start making changes. You're going to refine one part of this process, and you want to be able to see the impact of that. And if you continue tracking, you can continue tracking after you review it. So you're keeping this really positive cycle going, right? So it's like I identify something, I make a change, I see the impact of that. I identify the next thing, I make a change, and I see the impact of that, right? And so you want to keep tracking even as you are making changes. And then you rinse and repeat, because sales and marketing are a continuous journey of refinement. Keep in mind, refinement sometimes looks like automating or systematizing a process. So you are doing the same things, but you're actually faster at it or more efficient, and you're getting better results, but with less time, right? Your goal is to know where in your process you've got the weakest link so that you can focus on strengthening it. Then repeat that process over and over again, coach. That is what I want for you, because I want you practicing your craft of coaching, which means you need clients to coach. Coaching is all about figuring out what you think of something and how that is impacting how you feel and the actions you take. In order to honor the coaching philosophy, I like to end every episode with a question for you to reflect and ponder. The purpose is to deepen your awareness. Sorry, I am talking super fast today. And help you gain clarity on the episode topic. I would love to hear from you. So please share your thoughts with me. If you are on YouTube, please leave your answer to this question in the comments. If you are in our free community on Facebook, Financial Coaches Unite, please let me know your thoughts in the comments of the podcast episode. Here is your question, coach. What is the first thing you will do to boost your client attraction efforts? What is the first thing you will do to boost your client attraction efforts? Next episode, I am going to be tackling the scenarios coaches dread the most and how to tackle them. That way you are fully prepared and have nothing to fear. I believe financial coaching is the best and most rewarding way to make a living. I truly love what I do. If you are ready to learn and see how becoming a profitable and successful financial coach can be for you, check us out at financialcoachacademy.com to learn more about our online courses, our free trainings, and all of our events. As always, I would love to hear from you too. If you have any questions for the FCA podcast, please submit them at financialcoachacademy.com/podcast. And if you loved this episode, please subscribe and leave me a rating on Apple Podcasts. It would mean the world to me. I will see you next week, coach.